With just days to the August 15 Osun State governorship election, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Olatunji Rilwan Disu, has issued a strong warning to politicians and their supporters against using thugs, private security details, or other unlawful groups to intimidate voters or disrupt the electoral process. Speaking during an interactive meeting with civil society organizations at the force headquarters in Abuja on Friday, the IGP said the Nigerian police force had concluded extensive security planning for the election and would deal decisively with anyone attempting to undermine the democratic process.
I call on all political parties, candidates, and their supporters to conduct themselves too responsibly before, during, and after the elections. Because the offences that will be committed before the election, during the election, and after the election, anybody caught will play the music according to the laws of the land. Elections should be contest of ideas and policies, not violence or intimidation. No political ambition is to support the lot of single Nigerian life. Political leaders must prevail on their supporters to reject violence and respect the rules of law. I encourage the people of Osun State to come out peacefully and confidently to cast their votes, because we are going to ensure we keep the city, the state safe for everybody to come out and cast their vote. I want them to remember that on that day of election, nobody moves around with police or any other security bodies. They will move around alone. We are going to block roads because people are not supposed to be driving around during the election. Because we notice by the time we allow them to drive around anyhow, that is when they cause mayhem and try to escape around. So for that day, everybody is expected to come out and vote freely. No police personnel, no security personnel following them. And I want to use the opportunity to mention that no state actors will be allowed to take part in the election. It's purely police and other security agencies taking part in this election.
Responding to concerns raised by civil society groups on voter safety, political violence, misinformation, and the protection of vulnerable voters, these two assured Nigerians that the police would remain neutral and professional before, during, and after the poll. The police chief stressed that no politician, regardless of status or political affiliation, would be allowed to deploy thugs or misuse security escorts to cause violence or intimidate voters. He warned that officers have been directed to arrest and prosecute anyone found violating the law, insisting that the election must be concluded in a peaceful atmosphere.
Let us just imagine it. The election commences very early Saturday morning. Everybody came out of their houses, lined up, accreditation, and the election commences. Everybody casted their votes and they went back home. Fine. That is the ideal election. Abi, that is what we expect. But we know that it may not be like that. It may not be like that because politicians will come out with their thoughts. Because if thoughts do not come out to smart ballot boxes, if thoughts do not come out to cause violence, the election will go the way all of us wish it to go. And it is when they do this that we deploy or prevent them from doing it.
The meeting brought together representatives of several civil society organizations, including CISLAC, Yaga Africa, the Nigerian Women Trust Fund, Impact Development Initiative, the Center for Journalism Innovation and Development, Partners West Africa, and Clean Foundation. The engagement as part of the Nigerian police force broader strategy to build the public confidence and strengthen collaboration with stakeholders ahead of the governorship election, following earlier warnings by the IGP that electoral violence would not be tolerated in Osun State. For Science News TV, I am Amos Ziggy.